All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, you know what? They're talking about having another nor'easter on Monday. I'm not even going to get into that. But another nor'easter, please? Can we get maybe like a north-souther coming in and bring in warmer weather or something? I don't know, but I'm going to have an old man rant today. I want to rant about Pro Football Focus because I think everyone knows how much I love Pro Football Focus. Can't stand Pro Football Focus. It's a joke. Pro Football Focus has so many holes in their theories and their logic that it is a fan-based site. It is a media-based site. People in the NFL, and I have spoken to people who've worked and who are still in the NFL, will tell you they never look at Pro Football Focus. They never examine Pro Football Focus. They don't use Pro Football Focus because they eliminate so many nuances to the game that you cannot understand unless you are in the locker room or in the meeting rooms or in the film rooms with that organization. So they came out with their rankings, and the Giants ranked 27th their rookie class out of the entire league. And I went back and I have access to our Pro Football Focus account. I don't pay for it myself. I have access. I have a login for it. So I was curious to see how they ranked or rated the Giants and why they ranked their rookie class so low. Now, this should be an interesting video because of the fact that people will, who've watched the channel for an extended period of time will tell you, I was not a big fan of the Giant rookie class. I gave them a solid C-. And I'm still not a huge fan of the class because of the fact that I look at this class being a class of potential talent. You have, of course, Matt from Connecticut. You have Cam Brown, you have Carter Coughlin, you have T.J. Brunson, you have Chris Williamson, you have Tay Crowder. You drafted a lot of guys that potentially, Shane Lemieux, who could potentially turn into something. They were not immediate impact. I did not feel like they were going to be immediate impact starters. But I was wrong in some regards, and I'll always admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about some players, and I was wrong in some regards. In some ways, I was also right. But for Pro Football Focus to take a 10,000 high-foot level view of the Giants and say, okay, they were bad because, and here's the thought process. They were bad because they gave Andrew Thomas only a 54.7 pass blocking grade, which is worst among left tackles. So they're saying that's a problem. And they're also saying that he gave up a certain number of pressures and a certain number out of this. So they're saying that basically Andrew Thomas had a bad season, which is why their draft class dropped. They're also saying that Darnay Holmes ranked 110th and failed to crack the top 100 in Pro Football Focus graded season, this, in reference to cornerbacks. Okay, Darnay Holmes, for a rookie and a corner, and I've said this before, rookie cornerbacks are like rookie quarterbacks. That is one of the most difficult positions to come in and pick up immediately, especially if you're not, and the other position, then the number one position would be the signal caller with the quarterback. But to me, number two in that is cornerback, and then is offensive lineman after that. Because of the fact that you have to know so many different coverages. You have to know where you're supposed to be on the zone. You are supposed to know when you're supposed to, where you're supposed to be at what point in time and what coverages you're supposed to. There's just so many different avenues, and I'm so upset I can't even talk. You need to know so many different things to play that position. Darnay Holmes coming in as a rookie and coming in as a fourth-round draft choice and playing consistently until he got injured and playing well early on, that's a bright spot for the Giants. To me, that should not knock the Giants down in reference to ranking. And then they go into Shane Lemieux. He ranked 150 overall, which was the latest grade for a guard in the Pro Football NFL, with a 32.2% Pro Football Focus ranking. Shane Lemieux came in out of nowhere to fill in for Will Hernandez because of the COVID issue. That's a lot to ask for a fifth rounder to come in midseason and fill in for the starter. And there wasn't a lot of prep time to fill, for him to come in and fill in that position. And then also to play alongside another rookie and a center who this is his first year starting at center. Did Shane have a great season? No, he didn't have a great season. Did he look lost at times? Sure. But he also looked like a road paver at times. He also looked like he had solid skills for pass blocking. And for you to rank him as the lowest graded guard, how are you ranking him as the lowest graded guard when he barely played half a season? And that's what I love about this rankings also. They gave the number 1 ranking to the Cincinnati Bengals because of Joe Burrows. Joe Burrows missed half a season. And they also have T. Higgins because he got 1,000 yards. There have been many 1,000 yards wide receivers that came in as a rookie that disappeared off the face of the planet. Go back and look at Tampa. Go back like in 2003. I think it was 2004. You'll find a wide receiver in Tampa who had 1,000 yards. He also played. I'm not going to tell anyone who it is. He also played for the Giants, and he got a Super Bowl ring in 2007. So if you could tell me who that, I mean, it was 2007 or 11. I don't remember which year, but he got a Super Bowl ring with the Giants. If I'm going to say the first person that can come up with that answer, I'm going to send them a T-shirt and a coffee mug. Who was the wide receiver that had 1,000 yards his rookie season with Tampa, fell off the earth, and won a Super Bowl ring with the Giants? So you can't grade them by that. And then the fact that Pro Football Focus didn't even take into account the play of Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, or Tay Crowder. Tay Crowder showed moments of clarity of being a starting NFL linebacker till he went down with the injury. He looked great in the Washington game. And when he came back, he still played effective. Carter Coughlin in that Seattle game played almost like 70% of the snaps and controlled the edge against Russell Wilson. Cam Brown showed moments as well. So if you're going to rank an entire class, you need to look at the totality of the class, not just the first couple picks, and that's what Pro Football Focus does. And we don't even get into Xavier McKinney because Xavier McKinney only played for, only came up for a coffee cup, or cup of coffee. Well, that's a baseball term. He only had a cup of coffee in the NFL because of the injury. And he really only started the last 4 games of the season. And it's amazing because the first couple of games he started, he filled in for Darnay Holmes in the slot. So he was actually playing out of position. So how are you ranking that? All the Giants all the way down to 27. Was this a wonderful draft? No. Is this a 27th ranked draft? If you look through everything, no, it's not. I would say it's at least in the top 15 because they had at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would say 8 guys out of that draft, the Giants, that had an impact on an overachieving team defensively and offensively they didn't overachieve, but they had an impact. At least 8 guys on this Giants roster. And that's a lot better than 27th. And like I said, I've spoken to people, and I've gone through this rant before at the Pro Football Focus. I've had people that have worked in the NFL and still working and tell me they don't know what goes on in the meeting rooms. They don't know what goes on in the film rooms. They don't know who missed assignments. They have no clue what audibles were adjusted, what line changes were made, who missed their assignments, who got hung out to dry. They can't break down that nuance. Why? Because they don't know what's in the mind of the head coach and they don't know what plays were called. They can grade the film by looking at the film. Okay, you know what's another great... Okay, here's something else I like about Pro Football Focus. The Giants 2018 draft. I always say you can't grade a draft till year 3. Because of the fact that a lot of times they come in like gangbusters, they have their rookie slump, and then after the league adjusts, players then readjust to the league, and you can see who has actually readjusted and who belongs. So the Giants rookie class of 2018, of course, was Barkley, Hernandez, Carter, Hill, Kyle Aletta, and R.J. McIntosh. Pro Football Focus gave the Giants rookie class one of the highest rankings because of Saquon Barkley and Will Hernandez. And of course, Carter played. He has 4.5 sacks or whatever. And B.J. Hill's had 6 sacks. And R.J. was hurt most of that year, and we dropped Kyle Aletta. But they ranked that as one of the highest draft classes because of 2 players. And honestly, Will Hernandez, in my mind, had an okay rookie season. He did not have a fantastic rookie season. And that's not a slight against him because it's tough. It's tough also for a rookie offensive lineman to come in. But when Pro Football Focus said, wow, where there would be 1,000-yard running back without an impressive offensive line, that's just what Will Hernandez was last season, impressive. He finished with the league's 2nd highest ranking for rookie interior offensive lineman. It was only penalized 2 times across 1,027 snaps. Yeah, that's great. What happened next year? What happened this year? Will looked lost at times, and I still say that a lot of Nate Solder's problems was because he was covering and being hung out from dry from Will Hernandez. Plain and simple. Barkley had a great year too. What happened in the last 2 years? We can honestly say that Lorenzo Carter has not effectively panned out yet, if we're taking a look at that directly. We can also say that B.J. Hill has become maybe a solid backup. Kyle Lalletta's out of the league, and R.J. McIntosh doesn't even play. And then we also picked up Sam Beal. So at that point in time, if you were looking from that perspective, that 2018 draft, the way it looks right now, 3 years later, maybe is a C, because I don't even know Will Hernandez is still going to be on the team. Carter Coughlin's coming back from an injury. B.J. Hill's basically a backup. Kyle Lalletta's out of the league, and we're probably going to get rid of R.J. McIntosh. So 3 years later, will we sit there and say that this was an effective draft? No, you're not going to. This is why I hate judging rookie classes until after year 3. And that's what I think that we need to focus on. Yes, Pro Football Focus is just a way for these guys to make money. That's it. That's all it is. And then the fans fall. Then I wouldn't say all fans. I would say I like to call them the Madden fans that think that they think the NFL is Madden. They look at these things and go, "Oh well, Pro Football Focus said it." That's why I hate these next gen stats too. The Giants rookie class was much better than 27th overall. If you look at the totality of the play, the individual, if you break it down per individual, it does not look impressive. But if you break it down as a team effort, which the Giants were, it looks extremely impressive. So Pro Football Focus can go suck it. I got this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you could subscribe, if you can ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.